I guess it does very well against the Kunkka as well, and I suppose if you really wanted to run like an offlane Marcy that I think we saw KP run last night, also very, very good, of course, just static linking up that Marcy and not allowing her to have her shenanigans in the laning stage. We'll see how these drafts are going to finish off. Two very interesting drafts so far. Again, TNC's draft is the one I question a little bit more, just with the Visage Dawnbreaker, but we have seen success with both these heroes as of late, so I suppose I can't really doubt it too much. See how they do plan on finishing this one off then. Of course, the Mars as well, John. Like, are we seeing a mid-Mars coming out here for Krish? I think we did see this before from him, so I wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, you've got that option for TNC to give Krish that Mars. It feels pretty decent in lane up against the Kunkka. Up against the TA, it's a little bit tougher. So I guess that also depends on the mid matchup here. And going back to that Visage you mentioned here, Mike, it's actually pretty up in the air. I feel like Visage works best as a core. So if it is going to be, say, a core Visage, you're going to be maybe last picking a support. If you're going for a support Visage, that's likely a 5 Dawnbreaker, maybe for Mavis here. And Carla will take the Visage, which I'm trying to recall if we've ever seen him do that. I don't think we have.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think so either.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how you flex that. I would much prefer, say, a Visage core. And I'm trying to think of what role you'd put that on. If you will run Visage core, it feels like that should be Krish's hero on mid. And then you run, say, a Razor safe lane for Yoa and offlane Mars for Bach.
But you could run the offlane Visage, right?
You could run the offlane Visage for Bach still. The matchups don't feel amazing. I mean, you could still run down. If it's a TA safe lane, the Visage doesn't feel great, especially once TA hits like level 3, level 2 refraction. You don't really melt through that. Maybe the Dawnbreaker can kind of get that done with the DOT. So you could try to go that route. But it is flexible enough. As you mentioned, we have seen Krish play the mid Mars. So it's kind of open there. And TNC's lineup is kind of tied into this faster pace now.
It certainly is. Like I like the Hoodwink though coming out from Execration. It gives you that nice break with the Sharpshooter now against the Visage. Always going to feel very, very nice. And I'd say against all the heroes that TNC has picked up, the Hoodwink should have a very nice time. Sure, the Mars can be a little bit annoying against the Hoodwink because you can kind of take down the tree lines with the arena. Apart from that, though, I think this should be a very good Hoodwink game for Execration. See how TNC want to finish things off, though. Again, we are kind of questioning what position these heroes are going to go into, so hopefully we'll have our question answered rather soon, and they only have 20 seconds reserve time left to make this decision on TNC's end. It does feel like another support is due to come out, but again, it's very flexible here with TNC's draft, and no, never mind, there you go. They'll bring the Pudge out. So maybe it is a support Visage. Scary Pudge should be where it's going, and Yoe will pick it up. I mean, I love this meta, John. Carry Pudge is just a thing now, and I know, again, after I disconnected last night, you had the pleasure of casting a POS 1 Pudge, I believe. How'd that go, John?
Yep. Not that great. I mean, Natsumi was getting all the hooks, but I feel like the itemization didn't go too well. I had a conversation with Crest about it. He felt like they went for really tanky cores, and then they went for a really defensive build, which up against scaling damage was kind of awkward. But this time around, the Pudge doesn't have to worry about that scaling damage. You don't have something like the DP. There's no core Winter Wyvern. There's no percent HP burn. There's nothing even like, say, an A8 to stop you and just burst you down from your strength. So this feels like a stronger game for Yoa. I say that relatively. Mid-game spikes for TA Kunkka still feel really strong. Pudge, despite all the HP he might get with kills, can still melt to minus armor. And you do have a lot of that, at least from the TA. So we'll see how much Yoa can get done in this lane. Pudge Visage lane, that actually sounds, theoretically, it sounds pretty scary. It's very easy to rack up the soul assumptions. You get soul assumption, grave chill, run them down with rot. That feels like a really great lane for Yoa. So I'm actually swinging towards TNC's draft, even though they give Mavis this Visage that we don't see him play too often. I think the lanes look pretty good.
I like it too. I mean, again, it's a weird draft from TNC, but I don't know what to say about it. It's like you've just got to kind of wait and see how it plays out. So we are going to get into game number 1 rather soon here between Execration and TNC Predator. See how it all does pan out. Now, John, I've got to warn the viewers that I've been hearing a lot of static in the game recently. I tested on stream earlier, and it doesn't seem to go through on stream. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case here. But warning, if you do hear static, I'll try to fix it ASAP, so do forgive me.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. I'm scrolling up through chat. Apparently Vincenzo disconnected and reconnected a million times already. And we're having that classic TNC versus Execration. Almost all Filipino. All chat, of course. Tino, not very happy about his heroes being banned in the first phase. And yeah, just expressing that desire. Of course, all these players are very close. Again, we've seen a lot of TNC versus Execration over the years. Lineups have changed, but you know, a lot of players are still familiar with each other. There is a bit of lag, I'll say right now. If we see a lot of pauses, I'm also getting a lot of drops. And I think those server issues we had last night, Mike, they're still going on for some of us in Southeast Asia. So, hey.
Oh, there's a lot of problems, John. There's a lot of problems. I mean, like I said, I can hear static in the game constantly, which, let me tell you, is very annoying to cast with, because all you can hear is that annoying staticky sound in your ears, which, again, I don't believe is going through to the stream. If it is, you'd be able to hear it right now. But yeah, I mean, the disconnections are probably going to be plentiful today, sadly. I don't know what happened to my internet. I heard severe weather, and I know the SCA lines went down due to severe weather as well. Oh, what do you do? It's one of those times, John. We're probably going to have to talk quite a lot here today, Jonathan. I hope you've got plenty of stories available.
Oh yeah, I mean, just looking at the all chat again right now. Bob is saying to Carlo BDZ, I hope you notice us. Don't feel like you're too cool. You know, it's like these former teammates just always get it on. Of course, Carlo was part of Execration for a very, 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 very long time. So that's where some of the all chats come true. But CML or Mavis is saying like, "Oh, I didn't ban your Marcy, so you should be happy enough, Tino."
Right. Excellent.
Tino's calling him a liar.
Toilet break again. Bob toilet. Oh goodness me.
There's Mavis is saying, how is this the first? How would you ever see Tino's Marcy if he never pops anyway?
Oh, Bob Johnny gets caught out immediately. See, it's a bit of an awkward thing, right? Because they unpause. Was there even a go? Yeah, Vincenzo said go. They unpause. Poor old Bob was right underneath vision the whole time, so they go for the easiest hook of their lives. And Bob just did not react naturally because, you know, they hooked instantly.
Yeah, what can you do? You know, you get all these pauses, you get all the all chat, you get distracted, and then you get hooked and you die. Paolo's saying that they did it on purpose. Pretend to pause, unpause, and then get the hook. It's like, all right, it's all tactical. That's what we love about these Filipino versus Filipino teams, you know, especially TNC versus Execration. They go all in.
We've got some agents here, John, apparently, from the other side of Execration. The ancient Palos just setting up for a nice kill there for TNC. We'll get into it, though. Game number one. Again, I still have my doubts about some aspects of the TNC draft, but I also have my doubts about Execration's draft. Mostly this Pod 3 Marcy. I know KP almost made it work yesterday, but it did still look a bit rough around the edges. Like, in terms of control, you're so reliant on hitting that dispose every team fight. We'll see what Tino does, but it's not like you need another right-clicking kind of core here for Execration is kind of my point. And at least looking back to KP's build yesterday, going for a basher eventually, it just didn't feel very off-lane.
It's a greedier off lane. I mean, it's not like he rushed the basher. It was like blink BKB into the basher. And it's just down to how Marcy is. She doesn't have any other big items to go for. Like, towards the end game, your rebound options are on allies, but you want to be the initiator on the offlane, so that's where the blink comes in. You need some instant control. Maybe a Hex might be better, actually, if you think about it that way, but it's a bit awkward just for Marcy to build up and farm up. Shanks got hooked.
Yeah, Fairy Fire going to be there in time. Mavis still able to secure the kill. Yoa with a very nice hook out from the Pudge, and it's one of those things, right? You get a good Pudge, someone who can hook nicely, and it's going to be a great game for you. As even bot lane, Carlo and Box starting to get very aggressive here on this Razor Dawnbreaker duo against Vincenzo and Palos. It's not going to be the easiest lane in the world here for the Conker, John. even with that the Tidebringer being leveled up, you're still going to have a few problems as top lane. Yoe now having problems himself, but he's going to go for a run. Yoe, one more hit will do it. They just need one more. Tino surely going to find him with the bushwhack. They will be able to get him. Mavis unable to save, but Execration, they needed something like that to happen, and they'll get it.
That's what you want to see coming out from Execration's off lane. They've got doubled stun lane, they've got high mobility, in a sense, with a Hoodwink, especially when she has the scurry, and, you know, of course, with rebound. You can hit and run. Yoedo? Not going to be able to line up from that Brave Chill. That was a Mango Pop from Mavis as well, so not quite enough mana to keep up that Soul Assumption spam, something that really hurts the support Visage. It feels like mana regen early on is just a massive issue if you want to keep that output up on the Visage here.
Certainly is, John. It's not a great feeling here for Mavis, but see what he does to kind of deal with it is he does bring himself out of clarity, so but when you've got the +5 Visage, you certainly want to keep the aggression going. It's kind of the whole point of the hero is just kind of abusing the laning stages. Bot lane, Palos, gonna eventually drop as Bok and Carlo, able to chase him down. Carlo to take the kill on the Dawnbreaker, and again, this hero, while I have my doubts in the mid to late game, John, it is very powerful during the laning stage.
Yeah, it can just dominate the lane, helps you run down, has a good amount of damage, has a good stun if you can land it, and ties in with Razor really well. You just set up, get the slow off, get the stun off, and then set up for the static link. Really easy to run down something like the Kunkka. There's not too much a Jakiro can do to stop that. You don't even have the Ice Pad up, you don't tend to level that until maybe 5, usually past 6, depending on the situation. And sure, you can apply some good magical damage onto Carlo and Bok, but these are relatively tanky heroes, especially Carlo. He's already got 1000 HP at level 3 on the Dawnbreaker with just the Soul Ring up. That's kind of ridiculous from an EHP standpoint with 5 armor.
Top lane, Mavis almost goes down there, John, but we'll be able to salve up behind the T1 tower. Do agree with the points there on Carlo as well. I mean, it is still a very, very strong hero as Palos and Vincenzo. Just going to try and pull the small camp and ignore the lane altogether. Trouble, top lane. Doesn't actually bother going for a hook, but now does. Very nice angle. Does get Shanks with that, but won't be able to have the damage. Sadly, Mavis, he was a bit short on mana to get the Soul Assumption out. In fact, I believe he was only 5 mana short to getting it out and perhaps securing another kill here for TNC.
Yeah, and you really want to rack up those kills on the Pudge. I think, again, last time we saw that poor Pudge in yesterday's match, Natsumi had, I think at the end, 29 Fletch Heap charges. He was just ridiculously tanky with his strength, but didn't quite have any other way to scale it, because again, they had percent burn damage, and this time around, you don't have that worry, so you want to stack that up on Yoe. You want to get the tankiness going early on, but he does get caught out again. The stuns of Execration are pretty high.
Yeah, disposes there. Yoe, rebound out. He needs to go for a hook, but won't bother. He'll just accept the fact that he is going to die, and it's going to be another kill again the way of Tino. You know what, John? We should have a quick gander at mid lane where Bob and Chris have been going at it. We haven't really talked about that very much, but for now, Bob is having a very good time. Sure, he does give away first blood earlier on, but I dare say there was not much he could have done about it. But now during that laning stage, he's having a very good time.
Yeah, it just goes back to what we said about that mid-Mars. If it was a mid-Mars, it would feel a lot better versus a mid-Kunkka. Mid-TA just bullies the Mars. As Amelie here, it's really easy to line up, find an angle to get the side blades off when he comes up to the creep wave, and Krish doesn't have too much counterplay. He has no good way of burning through refraction, there's no good way of treading on that TA. Krish does have Arena up now, he's going to need maybe a support to come in to really help secure a kill. And he does have some movement out from Carlo now, but he's not even committing for anything big. So just have to accept Bob will find farm, and this is a scary prospect for TNC. We've seen Bob's TA throughout the years, Mike. It always delivers the goods when it does find that farm.
It does. Bob's a very strong TA player, that's for sure. We just saw Carlo getting himself a nice boundary and away from Vincenzo, just abusing the Starbreaker stun. Palos. Still farming pretty decently through the laning stage, but now he's in trouble again. Starbreaker not going to land with the stun though, so Carlo, he'll chase him down a bit further, but can't secure the kill. TNC, sure, they're still very happy with just keeping this Kunkka down, but would have loved to secure another kill on him if they could. Still very hard to land the Starbreaker at times, and sadly very easily dodgeable as well.
Yeah, that's the one thing. You kind of need something to set up, even at least the slow will help the cause. This class feel pretty decent one, although Vincenzo.
He won't dodge it. Vincenzo in big trouble, though. A nice boat to fly out. Palos trying to save the day as Box the one in danger now. He'll go for the link out, but it won't be enough. Palos able to secure Bob's life, and now Vincenzo still going for a bit more. Onto Carlo, understanding he did not have the Celestial Hammer to throw out. They don't even find the Jakiro for all that jump. Back top lane. Shanks even finding Mavis once again. Tino chasing him all the way down, and with this kind of draft, John, TNC, they have to be very careful. It could fall apart very quickly at this rate.
It doesn't feel like they've found enough from some of these early game heroes. Like, they've had a pretty decent bot lane, although giving some kills back to Palos kind of changed the tone of that. You haven't had the strongest start for Yoa. He's still up there in CS, but you're not getting that early kill threat. You're not stacking up the flush heaps. It feels fast enough. He does have the early Hood of Defiance to protect from some of that damage. But then while all of that happens, you know, your mid lane for Execration is going up really, really well. Bob is up there in the CS, a mile ahead of everyone else. Number 2 network right behind Palos despite that slower lane. And these conditions from Execration are being met rather early. It feels like for TNC, as soon as we start to approach that 10-minute mark, we've got to see some of that aggression kick in. We need to see the Pudge start to get some kills up on his belt, start to put that durability up front. There is a smoke out here from Krish and Mavis. Maybe now they can look for something with his first arena.
You're gonna have to try, and they'll head up top towards Yoe, trying to help out this Pudge a little bit as Krish has the arena to set up. They would rather the Marcy, of course, and it seems like Tino has no idea it's coming. Krish gonna set up perfectly. Tino is gonna get caught out, and Yoe will go right after the Dismember. Krish will be the one to take the kill of the Mars. Tino is a decent kill. They will walk away with that very happy, I'm sure.
Yeah, they get the kill they want. The big one on Tino, keeping that Marcy down a little bit longer. Tino not doing too bad. I mean, he's kind of building up soul ranks up, at least slightly, or keeping up with box farm and the Razor, which is a little bit more concerning for TNC. It does feel like the Razor would want to hit that BKB spike a lot earlier on. I think for Execration side, as long as it's not Bob dying, you're pretty happy. Your TA still has this free game. It's starting to build into the Dragonlance. There's still nothing to stop him.
Lane, the mid, Mavis in trouble, but he is going to be fine as now Bob, he might be the one in danger. It'll be a big pick-off if they can find it, though. Bob's still alive, going to try and turn Carlo. Now the one in danger is Krish, is not going to land the spear either. Carlo, he was relying on that spear to land. Bob will take a kill, and that's something he really shouldn't have gotten away with, John. Not only does he take Carlo, but he also got Mavis.
He managed to clean up really nicely, and TNC just don't have any good ways of clearing through Bob's refraction. He knows he's super durable up front. He knows he's really ahead, and his damage output is just insane. They get a good lock-in on Krish.
That's a much bigger kill. Krish, he'll drop the arena. They'll get the Solar Guardian. In fact, Yoe's going to show up on the punch, hooking the TA. They're going to find both. Shanks and Bob going down as now TNC, they will rush forward. Tino, Vincenzo in danger, but it seems like they're going to go for the Jack instead. The spear will not land, but it won't matter. Krish, he'll still take the kill on the Mars, and well, they can head right into the mid lane now. That tier 1 tower not going to last very long, and well, TNC kind of showing Execration that they can fight back too.
Yeah, they're hitting that stride now. They've got level 6 on Mavis. They can siege really fast in these objectives, and it's not going to be too hard for them to get these early towers now. Side of Execration still want to play a little bit of a slower game, and they want to build up their advantage, build up the items, especially on Bob, and to an extent Palos as well. Armlet, I think, flying out now for Palos, so gonna have a little bit more durability up front. TNC, they need to keep up this pace. Like, they find a mid-tier 1, they need to find one of the side lane towers, open up the opposite side of the river, start to invade that jungle, and prevent that build-up here.
Bot lane Palos. I mean, he's been farming very well considering the laning stage, but the chase is on once again from TNC. Like, they won't be able to catch him out, and well, now Palos, he does have the armlet up, so chances are he won't die quite as easily. TNC might just take the time to relax and get that farm going, but you look back at Execration with Bob and Palos doing very, very well. Though I was reading and was experiencing that Pudge is probably one of the fastest farmers in the game right now. So we'll see how much he can keep up with the TA of Bob. But at least for now, it does feel like Bob should still be able to gain a massive advantage on this TA. We'll see. Again, it's going to be a bit of a timing thing, but for now, they'll focus on the top tier 1 tower Execration. It seems like they're going to be able to get away with this one for free. Though I say that, Krish, he's going to go for a TP out and try to defend this, so they will notice the TP with the TA trap, and that's going to be enough to force them back on the side of Execration. I still think this is perfectly fine, though. Execration, they can just go right back to farming, and as long as Bob just keeps outscaling the Pudge, it's not really going to be too big of an issue. They're going to find Mavis down a bot lane, and with the sharpshooter, it's going to be way too easy to take Mavis down. No chance of survival.
It's a nice pick off on the support. Not the biggest kill in the world to lose out here on TNC. You do want some farm flowing onto Mavis, but he is class 5. Carlos able to use the space quite nicely. Already has that burn up, and should be working towards the Ags next. Maybe a hold your locket first if he feels the need. But once you have that additional utility on the Dawnbreaker, things can kind of pick up once more for TNC. They are just sitting back, farming up, probably just waiting for this Ags timing on Yoe. They want that upgraded Rot. And once that's up and running, the Pudge's presence cannot be ignored in the middle of these fights. They have so much setup for the hook, spear, and arena. Hook out. You've got the familiar stun, you've got the Dawnbreaker, which is a little bit less reliable. Still an aspect as well. And so far, TNC seems more than happy. They are trying to go for the defense up top again, though.
Tino. Oh, he just used the rebound as well. This would be a great time to initiate here for Krish as he does, but no, the speed. Off the mark again, Tino, he's still running. They'll drop the arena. He does. Wait a minute, what just happened?
Huh?
Tino, he's gonna rebound out of there, John. I believe we found a bug. Apparently, Hook makes it so you get out of arena, but it shouldn't.
Krish.
They're still diving, Krish. That was weird, John.
What?
He got stuck in the arena, but then he got pulled out anyway.
Yeah, that, like, you could just sort of Hook landed, then it looked like it got interrupted because of the arena, and we saw Tino inside the arena for a bit, then he just teleported. Oh, it brings back memories of the old Fountain Hook, Mike. Not quite the same memories of that era. Nah, pretty much, I'm not sure if that's something they wanted here on TNC, because they couldn't even get something like the Dismember off because of that weird lag. So they lose that opportunity, they drop Krish, and now Execration are feeling very happy, going for a smoke for their own here.
See what they find. Through the mid lane they go towards the bottom side as Palos actually gets Carlo at the top lane. It's been rather quick. He got the boat out and it's proved to be enough against Carlo, and now Mavis back in that Radiant jungle is going to get caught. Won't be too hard to take him down either with the disposed to set up Mavis. Or rather, Tino will take the kill. Mavis the one to go down. TNC is still only slightly behind, just by less than 1k, but again, I still question at what stage this Pudge is going to be a big nuisance. Oh, never mind, John. They've caught out the Kunkka. Palos is going to drop, and that's a big one.
It's a massive kill. They are lining up for the mid push, but he always got the Ags up here.
Yeah, Bob, he's going to have all this refraction burn through us now. They'll go for the Dismember. In fact, never mind, they didn't. They just went for the Spear instead. They don't have the mana. Dismember's not going to come out. They'll still find Bob. Tino, does he drop? The chase is on, but they barely reach him. The plasma field just connecting right in the nick of time. Bok gets there, but that's a 3-for-1 trade the way of TNC. I thought they might have been able to turn that one. It just didn't seem like they were able to get in range of Bob in time.
Yeah, I mean, great dispose attempt from Tino, just not quite enough to save. The Ags up on Yoa just means that Rod is just so painful when it does come through with a regen reduction as well. And sure, the Pudge isn't quite tanky enough to keep that Rod up for a very long time. Code of Defiance kind of helps that cause, though. It's still a very close game here, Mike. 11-10, 1k lead up for TNC. I'm wondering what her partner odds are seeing here from 188, because it seems pretty damn tight. In-game probabilities right now, 65% for TNCs. They've managed to do a great job of just kind of holding that early game and getting some aggression and not allowing Execration to overly go on top, although they get bot here.
They have got bot. The Razor it end up dropping surely and does. Execration able to find another great pick off for themselves, and well, those betting odds, John, they are still in the favor of Execration. So 1-8 bet, believing that Execration have got this one in the bag for now. The TNC want to have something to say about that, and we'll smoke up. In through the mid lane they go. Who do they find first? The smoke is going to be broken by Vincenzo, so they'll have to accept the pos 5. Not quite the kill they would have liked, but they'll have to take what they get.
Take what you can get. You just want to build some stacks up on Yowie. Only the 4 flesh heap stacks. Not the tankiest pudge in the world just yet. Is going for a Sanj next, so some stat resist, a little bit more strength once more. Krish, blink at the ready here.
Yeah, Krish, he could blink in right now. Palos, no, not going to get caught. They'll get Shanks, but I don't believe he saw Palos in time. It's Krish. We'll keep chasing. Palos does get stunned up. Krish, 3 seconds for another spear out. Should be able to land one. They aren't in the T1 tower now, but he'll still go in. They'll move out. Bok, TNC moving out, and they do find the Kunkka. Yowie able to hook him back and secure the kill along with Mavis. TNC Predator again with the aggression, and it is paying off.
Yeah, this is when their lineup really needs to start pushing the envelope. Needs to stop Execration from just farming around, needs to punish these cores for wanting to play a bit of a slower game. I think all things considered, Execration are keeping Bob safe, which is the most important. Krish gets caught out.
He does, but they do have the Solar Guardian, and now Tino gonna get hooked in by Yowie once again with a perfect hook, though Tino is gonna try to survive with the lifesteal on the sidekick, but it's not enough. In fact, Vincenzo is also gonna get caught out, it seems. Though a nice bushwhack does hold them back, but Vincenzo, I don't believe, has a great way out. Hook's not gonna connect, with the Familiars still chasing Vincenzo. He's trying so hard with the bullwhip, and he's gonna make it. 20 HP, he'll get out of there.
It's a good escape when it comes across off lane, so all things considered, you're still pretty happy here on TNC. As again, the aggression's kicking into gear for them. They know this is the point where their lineup's just super powerful. They know Execration's still waiting for more items up on Bob. He's already got the Desolator up with a blink, but still needs that BKB for protection, and even then, a good dismember can still cut him off if they're not careful. Smoke out from Execration though, looking to be aggressive with Palos on hand.
Yeah, X out, they've got the business, the boat. It will fly in into the sharpshooter. That'll be plenty. With the break alone, they'll be able to get it done. Even the Familiar's going to go down here to Bob as they can move in onto that T1 mid tower, but Yowie going to go for another hook, does land it onto Palos. No dismember up yet though. He's going to wait to throw that out as Palos, still having all his damage sapped away here by Bok, is in big trouble. And now Krish will make the jump in with the arena. They'll secure the Kunkka once again as Yowie. He's going to have a look around for another hook. Can he find one? It doesn't seem like it, but it's the pos 1 Kunkka going down again for Execration.
Yowie just goes for the safe hook on the power rune. Losing the Kunkka is still big, but I think, again, Execration's big scaling is on Bob anyway. So as long as the TA is kept safe, you don't really mind sacrificing the Kunkka too badly. Palos is still up there in network anyway, and he's been making plays for his team. He's been kind of joining in. It feels like he's playing a more fight-oriented Kunkka. He wants to just buy space for the TA, use the tankiness that they get out from both, use that control they have with the XctN combination, and just melt some of these softer targets down with a Hoodwink. And for the side of Execration, it does feel like all they need to do is maybe hold on for 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the longest. That's the point where your TA just feels really, really damaging. Even with a BKB plus more, you can start to consider melting through the Pudge. He's not going to feel that durable. Again, considering Yowie only has 6 flesh heap charges, his HP isn't as high as some Pudges get at this point in game as core. So you still have that physical burst you can rely on, and that is mainly on Bob more than anyone else. And I think for Execration, that's the game plan right now. Just buy Bob all the space, sacrifice some heroes if you need to, but ensure the TA lives and just prevent TNC from getting too much of a snowball going.
TNC, again, another smoke to come up towards the top lane. In fact, Krish, he might be thinking about starting Roshan, but there are heroes to take top lane. Palos, he's going to show up again. The Kunkka He's got his BKB up, but could still be a bit of a problem as Yoe has Dismember, and now with the spear to lock him down, he'll have no chance. In fact, never mind. Bushwhack is there. Palos going to go for the bow TP out. May have just made it and will. Oh, if it wasn't for that Bushwhack from Shanks, they would have had no chance of survival.
Yeah, just a great escape out from Execration once more, cutting off TNC's aggression. For TNC, they have to connect every single time they go out to commit this many heroes. They're not farming as well anymore. The two big cores of Execration are still working the map really well. And it's starting to feel like TNC's feeling some pressure here. They know they need to keep this game in control while they can.
Arena. That's a nice arena around Palos. He doesn't have BKB up right now. Tino is going to try and help out, but Carlos come in. Tino needs to get out of there. They've lost Palos already, and they're going to lose this Marcy. Tino, he just bought his BKB out, but he is going to drop. A 3k net worth advantage now for TNC, and if they really want Jonathan, Roshan is going to be open for them.
They could Rosh. It's not the fastest Rosh lineup, so I don't know if that's a high priority on their list. They just don't have the highest damage output. Even the Razor is an amazing Shanks.
Trouble. The Hoodwink trying to get himself out. Krish, they're not going to have a spear, but they have the familiar stun instead. The Shank's still going to be a bit of a nuisance trying to run through this tree line. They'll even place an observer ward just to catch him out. No messing around.
Yeah. Take what you can get. Krish, another kill on under his belt, 6-1 so far, having another pretty damn good Mars performance again from the mid. Is working towards a shard. We'll have that up, and it makes it easier to line up multiple heroes in that arena. Get the control that TNC does need. Yoe working towards the Heaven's Halberd, so that is one way to keep down that physical burst from TA. Just ensure she can't right-click, have a little bit of evasion on hand as well. And now Bob's got to be very cautious with his BKB use. It almost feels like with Halberd up, they do manage to get the jump before the BKB's on. There's not much of a window for Bob to try to turn the circumstances. As we do get another pause. Again, it's been raining a heck lot in Southeast Asia. And they are actually saying Discord issues. I will attest, I've had Discord issues last night, Mike.
You did have Discord issues, John. I will agree with you on that. Well, I will give them their chance to try and fix that one up. How much rain has happened, by the way, John? Like, it was just all of a sudden that everyone was having internet issues. How much rain are we talking?
It's not. I mean, it's not like a typhoon, but it's just lots of rain. I think I've been told by my friends in Manila it's been really, really rainy. Not in my city, but all the way up north, it has been pretty rainy. That's where all the data centers are at. His Bach gets axed.
Yeah. Gonna get caught. Tino does have to dispose, but Arena is down. Krish with a 3-man Arena, and now the Solar Guardian gonna fly through, but they are gonna fight back with their BKBs out. They're gonna try. Yoe, he's in with the Dismember. Out onto Bob. They want the TA, but can they get it? Bob, he's gonna run out of that BKB now. The chase is on, but the hook is gonna be blocked by Bok. And now they might turn. Execration. They could try, but they will not. They don't want to fight without their BKBs up. They are going to back off. Neither team finding any kind of kill.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot better for TNC. It feels like Execration are much more reliant on their BKBs in the middle of these fights in comparison to TNC having to have their BKB unblocked. So that gives them a bit of a window that allows them to know that, all right, BKBs are going down to 8 seconds, just a second less to wait for, and every single second does count in the middle of these engagements. For Execration, it's just time to look their wounds, time to keep building up on Bob. He is working towards the Daedalus next, understanding he just wants to try to burst some of these heroes down, especially considering, again, they're tanky, but they're not ultra tanky against the TA simply because all the minus armor drops into 0. The Ags is up now though on Carlo, and we talked about that timing here, Mike. Some more healing, some evasion coming through from the Solar Guardian. It's going to make these fights a lot tougher for the side of Execration. They don't have an easy way to pierce through 60% evasion coming through from that Solar Guardian here.
TNC going to move in with the smoke out, but there is vision on the high ground, so Execration, they know about this, and the Arena is going to come down, but they've got to be BKB out. Tino, he's going to be fine. Krish, he's the one in trouble now, but they've got Vincenzo down. Tino, he needs a way out. Bok, he got a great link off, but there's your rebound. He will make it out, at least for now. TNC will chase for a bit more, landing the spear on Palos, but it's not going to latch onto a tree. And Execration are doing the right thing to back themselves out, only losing the Jakiro. That'll to be enough. TNC not going to have enough kills to set up for Roshan. So it's back to the drawing board for them to keep that farm going. Execration, kind of the same story for them, John. They're 6k net worth behind. They've got to get some farm up.
And they still are on Bob at the very least. It's all in on the TA at this point. Only Bob's really the one that's building up in comparison. Carlos, Tino have both fallen behind. Tino is actually behind Carlo on the pause 4 of TNC. So the offlane Marcy still not having a great time here. Mike, Tino working towards that basher as well. So almost the same build-up as we saw from KP, kind of skipping out on the blink. Maybe the initiation's just a little bit more awkward.
Krish, nice setup. Does land on the jack. Solar Guardian gonna save the day once again here for Krish. As Vincenzo is gonna drop another time, but again, it's just the Jakiro. 30 seconds. TNC, are they really gonna try and force Roshan with this?
Nick, they could try. They've got the Eye of the Storm running at least for a little bit. There's some damage to fly through. It still doesn't feel like the quickest Roche. The damage output just isn't that great, but it is still eventually melting the side of Execration. If they want to contest, they can make a move now. They are in the area. They are keeping it in as well. And the smoke is out here.
It is. They've got to fight. Execration. Just the smoke alone is going to force the side of TNC to back off anyway. Again, I think just with the Jakiro kill, they don't have quite enough to really finish off Roshan, but it does seem like TNC are more than willing to keep this fight going. Execration are the ones that don't really want to fight right now. But they may be able to find Carlo, and that might be a free kill as Tino is in, but the hook shot is there. Yoe going to catch out Tino with the dismember. It's too much damage. They're going to lose their Marcy immediately as Carlo is going down, but now Palos. Oh, Palos, he's in danger. Static Link is there through the BKB. Bok, he'll just keep the chase going as Palos. He's just melting. He will drop. Bok can go for more. He'll pick up a triple against Vincenzo. And now TNC, they've got plenty for Roshan. It's back to the pit.
That's a beautiful bait out by our Dawnbreaker. Just throwing the body forward. Euro's around for the hook, lands it, and now they can go back to it. Again, not the quickest process, but you don't have the content to worry about. TA low and chances to jump in and try to kill everyone. You're going to be able to find that as Krish.
Getting caught out, Shanks. We've still got some evasion going. Krish actually going to pop his BKB to make sure they can secure the kill. And I suppose Shanks did have a 4-star up, so maybe he could have tried for an Aegis still here against TNC, but is not going to have the chance against Krish. And we're now TNC with the Aegis up on their punch. Going to be feeling more and more confident. And John Bob, he is still top of the net worth board, but it just doesn't seem to matter.
He's having to play a lot more cautiously. Execration aren't finding huge openings in these fights. It's just TNC's team fight just feels a lot better. If you look at Execration's lineup, the only real team fight they have is like X-Torrent, maybe a Bushwhack and multiple heroes. That's pretty much it for the area we control. Ice Path can be nice. It's not the most amazing piece of control.
Oh, he gets caught out. He tried to go for the silver head straight away, but now is forced to pop the BKB Palos. I don't think he's surviving this. He's going to armlet toggle the best he can, but he can't do it. Bok has just taken away way too much damage, and now poor old Vincenzo forced to try and creep skip while he can. But they do clip up the creep wave. They'll go after that tier 2 mid tower.
Fortify to stall out that push a little bit longer. Fortify now for high ground, and Vincenzo's not safe here.
No, he certainly isn't. He's just doing what he has to do to keep himself in this game, but ultimately is going to sacrifice his own life for it. And sadly, John, the creep wave doesn't even die. It's still alive. Mid lane, though, they may have at least found this pudge, and they do once. Solar Guardian, not enough to save, but Carlo, he'll keep the chase going up to Tino. Does have spider legs up, so he can make a run for it. Hook. It wasn't the mark, but the blink away is there. Instead, TNC are back into the tier 2 mid tower, and this time they'll get it. In fact, they're going to try for high ground. Maybe just the tier 3 while the Kunka's down. No buyback available on Palos. The hook is going to land. Bob, that's a big target. Spear is going to be there as well. Bob, he is far, far away from home. Though he does have buyback, but he might need to commit it right now.
Yeah, Hero just laying into hits. Great Great hook from him to catch Bob off guard, and that's the big hero they need dead. He's the win condition of Execration. He's been the one building up, and he's starting to lag behind. They are going to go for the defense.
Yeah, big boat out. They've got the Razor. Buyback was committed by Bob, and that's going to be enough for TNC Predator. They're trying to back their way up, but Tino going to at least try to find another disposed target. Is aiming for Mavis. The hook is there. Yoe going to try and go again onto Shanks. Does kill him off with the dismember. Onto Tino now. Tino, he's gone too far. He's going to be punished again. Now the arena. Krish, he's going to find 3 targets with that. Oh, it's a disaster. Execration. They try to punish, but they're the ones to get punished themselves. In TNC, they know that was a dieback on Bob. They are going to leave it at that, though. It doesn't seem like they're going to try and force high ground again, because they still have 2 T2 towers on the outer skirts of the map. So Bob, oh boy, he's going to be careful. Krish, going for a chase. Instead, we'll just settle for the mid-range racks, and it seems like they've got to address the side lanes anyway.
They need to keep control on the map. Big advantage. They could have probably gone for the full set of racks. It's only Krish to be left alone trying to get that done. So we'll back off. Big wins for TNC. Now Bob has lagged behind in network. He doesn't have an item advantage. Doesn't have the full data lit up. Can't just burst through in the middle. And even with all the farmed world on that TA, just finding an opening for these fights feels so tough. They need to somehow get a good bushwhack, maybe tie that in with either the ice pad or the torrent, both, and then have Bob come in with the damage, right? Like that's the ideal team fight. That's how the control breaks out, but it's just not easy to do compared to TNC's initiation. You jump in with Krish, you drop the arena, spear one guy down, and just run all over them afterwards. You don't need any much more than that, because there's no threat from Execration for a good counter fight. They don't have many angles to take, and that just gives TNC a lot more to play with all their single target control, all their repositioning spells with the spear and the hook. Execration don't have too much to work with on the map.
They do not. Top lane they go. T3 tower under siege once again. Wraith Pack gonna make it annoying as Yoe tries for a hook out, will not connect though. T3 tower down. Execration, they've got Bob back up in 1. There he is, but Krish is going to make the jump in. Arena down again. Shanks is already gone. They've got the hook shot onto Kunkka. Palos, he's going to try to run, but look at the damage up from Bot. Palos still trying. He's going to get away with the silver edge. But the top lane of Barracks is still getting destroyed here by TNC. They do dispose. The Solar Guardian going to protect them as they've got Tino once again on the offlane Marcy. Carlo, he's right back in. Palos, he's got no BKB, the Starbreaker. It's going to land on 2. They've got Bob. They've got Vincenzo. They've got everything TNC. They can go right after Tier 4 towers. There is nothing Execration can do about it. That'll be game 1 to go the way of TNC, I think. They are still trying, but no, GG is called. Palos has seen enough. You know what, John? I had my doubts about the TNC draft, but they make it work and they make it look pretty darn good.
And their lineup just looked so much better coming out from the drafting phase, right? Like, they have this great Pudge game, they have the Visage support, they have this great lane which just feeds off each other with the damage you have on the hook, feeding into the Soul Assumption. You've got the Grave Chill combination with Rot. Now, the lane didn't go as well for Yoe as I think they expected, but everything else lined up for TNC. They hit these early timings. They keep forcing these fights. Krish, again, with a stellar performance on his Mars, dying only the 1 time, just setting up for his team. Whereas for Execration, they go with a very standard draft, maybe outside of the Marcy, right? Like, they have the Bob TA come out. They have Palos and the Kunkka. They shift their win condition onto the mid. I think for Execration, it's just really hard to take these team fights. They had not the best amount of control to try and jump in and counter fight from the arena. Tino's Marcy, he likes the hero. He had some impact in lane, but down the line, there was not much he could really do. Maybe a dispose for safety, movement like that. But in the end, TNC just overwhelmed them with constant aggression here.
That they did, John. Of course, we are going to head off to a very short 10-minute break, and right after that break, we'll be back with game number 2 between Execration and, of course, TNC Predator. We'll see you then.